You ready?
Yep.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new episode of the Challenge All Stars Rivals. We're almost at the end. We're almost at the final.
I mean,
Um,
we are at the well,
well, we
yeah,
are at the final. Basically, the next episode I think will be the start
yeah.
of the final, which is probably going to be split into two episodes.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. I
We'll
think
see.
the season went really fast. You think so?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
only
think.
was 12 episodes, but All Stars usually always go fast. But I will say, out of all the seasons we got so far, I think this is my least favorite.
Oh, you think it's your lead out of
Um,
all the All Stars?
yeah, because half of it was just nothing happening.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that. I
Like it
I
wasn't
like
really no drama. Like all the good people who like brought drama left early. People's storylines didn't really take shape. And the people that's in the house now, we've been seeing them do this for the last 6, 7 years.
I think this season was mostly kind of to reintroduce some people. I think they probably gonna bring back Dario, Ashley, Frank. I think some of these people
Well, they say Ashley on next season, so
yeah, I'm about to say I think some of these people will end up being back on the main season.
actually, because it looks like this might be our last All Star. So
Why you think it's the last All Star?
I think Mark posted something. Basically, he was like, if y'all want to All Stars six, you gotta tune in and all this. I don't think their numbers are doing well. So
Well, yeah, I think it's because they steered away from the main goal
premise,
of All Star, the purpose of All Star. They started putting people on All Stars that should not be on All Stars that are not like OG people we see all the time. Like the fact that Fessy was on All Stars make no sense. Amber B
yeah,
on All Stars makes no sense. Not that I don't like Amber B or anything like that.
90 being on All Stars,
Yeah,
Anissa being
people that
on
are on the
All
main
Stars.
season, people that are on the main season should not be on All Stars. This is for people who we haven't seen, who haven't had a chance to be in front of the camera in a while. I want to see them people like that first season with like Alton and
Okay.
them
Yeah.
and Tex. Yes, reintroduce us to Latarian. Where's Latarian at?
Yeah,
Like them people. That was All Stars. Like this is not as interesting because it's like I'll see you next season.
literally.
I'll see you
Or
next
we
season.
literally just saw you the previous season, Devin, Leroy, and then Leroy's supposed to be on next season too. It's like, no,
And
y'all
yeah.
not.
And then putting these people that are on the main seasons on All Stars, and if they win, it makes people, the fans, question that win. Like, is that a win?
Yeah,
Is that like overall, is that a real win? So I think they shouldn't do that.
yeah,
That really kind of ruined I don't know what the
yeah.
right word would be. That ruined All Stars for me. But let's get into this episode. So we are coming back from the previous elimination. It went kind of how you expected it. I feel like it wasn't.
Uh,
No, not expected it,
I was
but
going to say
no, it wasn't what you
Mel
expected. But
and Mel and Nicole. I didn't expect them to win, but I was glad that they did because I was
yeah,
kind of tired of the Veronica of it all.
really, I didn't mind
Yeah.
Veronica and Katie.
I mean,
OG.
I don't mind the political part that Veronica was playing, but there's no like if you're not gonna do nothing behind that, it's just like I don't know. I and I think that's my problem with a lot of at least I would say at least in the main season, Devin might stir the pot, but Devin will also compete. In All Stars, at least for this season, a lot of people were like stirring the pot, making all these deals, but they weren't doing nothing. They
Mm,
were basically relying on other people to do their work. And nothing's wrong with that, but when it's time for you to compete, I need you to compete. And
yeah,
that's the problem that I have. Like nobody wants to compete no more. It's just I'm gonna have you knock out all the enemies and then I just reap the benefits.
yeah. I I understand, but I did appreciate Veronica because that is the her being on there, Katie being on there, that's what I like to see as far as All Stars. So I was okay with it because it was appropriate for the show that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sad that I was sorry, I wasn't mad that what's her name? Nicole and Melissa won. So yeah, so moving back to this episode, we start off with, they won, and then we get some clips kind of showing how Nicole and Melissa's dynamic as a team, and we get to see Nicole's girlfriend, and she says how, this time is, is different. She's coming to the house with a relationship already, and
I mean,
she
that's cute and all, but your words aren't matching
you don't
your
think
actions. No.
that.
Like, even when the girlfriend and Mel they had that conversation, clearly the girlfriend was like, I'm
Maybe
on
she's
TV,
like
so
that
let
because
me.
Nicole done talk stuff about Mel, so she's like, y'all
No, I
friends
was thinking it
now?
was more of why is she in this conversation with us. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that on top of all the stuff you was talking about with this girl,
Hmm.
now you want, like, I don't understand why anybody would want their ex to talk to, or their new partner to talk to their ex. Like, that just says, hey, look, we're not doing anything when we low key
Look.
doing everything.
And then we kind
But
of
even before that, when we come back, Nani and Turbo are, well, mainly Nani is really upset that her star is taken, and that, she's been calm throughout this season, and she's a little bitter.
yeah.
Um, so that
Yeah,
also plays.
yeah, so this whole episode basically she's like, guys, please give me us a chance to get our star back because they ain't got the star taken, which is the name of the game. That's how the game is played. And it's, it's sad for her, but they knew it at the time because Turbo had said they're gonna try to take our star or whatever. But she did advocate the whole episode, like please let us get a chance, or whatever. And we also kind of see throughout this episode animosity or the actual rivalry between Shane and Davon, and Davon was trying really hard to be to a calm partner, and
Mhm.
specifically within this challenge. This we could go to the daily challenge. This daily challenge,
I
I
will say, in general, Devon is funny, but I just want to talk about last episode. That whole God bless thing was hilarious to me. Like, she was like, "We can be friends, but if you want to walk out my life, then God bless." Like,
exactly, exactly, because I'm sure her and Shane don't talk outside of this show or haven't talked, and I mean, I don't know if they talk currently after this show.
yeah,
So she's like, if we ain't friends, if we friends, then
bless.
we yeah. But
Yeah,
throughout
if we're friends in this house, we could be able to make it outside this house. If not, then God bless.
God bless. That's funny.
But yeah, we get to the daily challenge, and it's called pressure sandwich. Partners will have to navigate their way through a forest while holding four puzzle pieces together like a sandwich. While running through the trees, they'll collect six more pieces along the way. If the puzzle pieces are dropped outside of the white safety zones, they have to reset the previous station and begin again. The first team to collect all 10 pieces and solve the puzzle wins, and the winner will either be safe from elimination or have the power to send themselves in to steal a star or their star back because the only one team that doesn't have a star, which
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah. So throughout this challenge, except everybody pretty much working together except for Shane and Davon. Like there was some like mishaps, sure, but nobody was really yelling at each other like
Mhm.
they were. Just Shane was, well, not they. Shane was yelling at Davon.
Yeah,
And he was not calm at all. Like there was, yeah, it was kind of frustrating to watch that. And
I
he was,
will
and she was,
say, um, I understand where he was coming from when, like, he was saying how him and Davon are both emotes. I feel like
Mhm.
he was using the wrong word, but basically, when one person anxiety is elevated, they start to shift that onto the other person, and then both of them are just like
Yeah.
just keep climbing. So I do understand that. However, if you already know that you both are this type of person, there's a way, and I think that's the main thing, that he just doesn't know how to communicate exactly what he needs and kind of the situation. So he is already a high stress situation, and you're getting stressed, making me stressed. Now we're both stressed, and now we're both biting each other's heads off because you're trying to yell at me to do this one thing, and I'm telling you this is, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, he was they as a team were like really spiraling. But on the completely opposite end of that, Frank and Sam never dropped any of their pieces, never had to start over. They did good from start to finish.
I
And
need edited footage of that.
why you think they didn't mess up at all? I mean, you think they messed up? Because Sam said we didn't drop anything.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but
Why would why wouldn't it be true?
because no team is can do that
Well,
perfectly.
they did. Obviously, a team could because they did it.
No, I need to see the edited footage.
But yeah, Sam says they did not drop any pieces and they got all their pieces first and they started the puzzle first. But just because you started the puzzle first don't mean you're gonna necessarily win. But um I think, they spliced the footage together because I think they were probably already really ahead. But Sam and Frank win the challenge. And then after the challenge, when they're on the podium before while TJ's announcing it, Shane gets into it with Adam because Adam's like, basically Adam was already kind of a little upset, at least from the confessional, because of the way Shane was talking to Davon. But then I think it seemed like Shane was like probably gonna fall off the podium. And Adam just put his hand behind him just to kind of catch him, it seemed like or
Yeah.
or to like say like you about to fall and he was like don't touch me or something or like get away from me and Adam was like I was trying to help you and so then Shane storms off of the set in general um
Yeah.
upset
And
and
that
so
really made Adam even mad because he was like, talk to people with kindness, you know, have a little bit of human decency. You
mm,
know, when people throw out that human decency, you know, you you messed up.
yeah
Anytime somebody gotta be like, hey, have some like decency, like that's the big like. If you don't got human decency or decency at all, like when somebody gotta tell you have some decency, yeah, you really out there crashing out, as the kids say nowadays. And
yeah
that's what Adam did. He crashed out. Not Adam. Shane did. He crashed out.
Yeah, we got some kind of conflicting confessionals because like Shane in his confessional and later on says like, Davon is playing a victim. Everybody's sorry for Davon, feeling sorry for Davon. What about me? Blah, blah, blah. But then later on he does go apologize to Davon. But the confessionals, I'm assuming, are filmed after the scenario. So
Yeah.
after the scenarios, you are saying she was playing victim, but you ended the conversation with apologizing. So maybe
Yeah.
you're
From
saying
my
they
understanding,
apologize
the confessionals, or in general, from my understanding for confessionals, they filmed afterwards, but they also have to talk
about how they
if
felt
they're
at the
in
moment.
the headspace they were in at that moment.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's why it's kind of conflicting. But also, I do think, like, I'm not saying Shane was right, but I feel like, at least for me, I feel like I was missing something
Hmm.
because I'm not saying Devon was playing the victim, but something was just disconnected this episode because, like, from what they shown this whole season, yeah, they were disagreeing, but it was never like this whole like,
But
you know.
I would say that if everybody hadn't had the same opinion, everybody in their different confessionals were
But
like,
that was only this episode though.
yeah, yeah. But I'm
But
saying
then
like,
if they filmed the confessionals afterwards, it also dictates how they will explain the situation and how they will view
mm,
Shane afterwards versus in the season.
okay,
Because this is like, if this just happened this day, then yeah, when I'm talking about it again, I might get heated again, as we saw with Adam when he was talking about that confessional with. We'll get it. I don't know if it was that episode, but this episode. But anyway, when you get back in that headspace, you get mad all over. So
yeah,
that probably why. But like I said, it just to me, I didn't. I don't know. I just felt like it was some disconnect from the emotion of it all. Like again, I'm not saying Shane this episode. Yeah, what he displayed was horrible, but the way him and Davon been all season doesn't correlate to all of this,
yeah.
where people were like, "Yeah, I'm done." Like, so I don't know. I just feel like we was missing something.
Yeah, because we had several confessionals. People were like, Shane was doing too much. Shane was yelling. Shane was doing all this. And maybe it was an argument that happened that we didn't see, that they didn't show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we also get a scene of Adam and Steve, with basically Adam's like, me and Steve are working so well together, but I can't fully move on until we discuss um what he did to me last season where he stole my star. And I was like, th- I am so confused by this moment
Yeah,
because
I think
it,
Steve even was confused because Steve was looking like, um, yeah. So I mean, I already
like
told you
literally,
why I did it. Like, it was just the options that I had. It just made most sense, and you took it personal, but it was
yeah.
never like a personal.
And before Steve did that, as we have talked about in previous videos, before Steve did that, Adam betrayed Steve first, if we remember correctly.
Yeah,
And so
like you were
he
actively plotting against him all season.
yeah, so I don't, and it just doesn't make sense why he don't understand why Steve took his star. He need to watch some like what's these
You need to
called?
watch some clips again.
He need to watch the clips again, watch some fan reviews of the episode. Because we have said in our reviews several times, like Adam is not thinking clearly about the situation because
Yeah,
he did that to Steve first. Then Steve in retaliation was like, not in retaliation, but I ain't got no way. I don't have no reason to
not
not
take
take
your
your
stuff.
star. I don't have a reason not to take your star now since we ain't playing like we friends now.
Yeah.
Because it was Adam did that first, but he don't see that, and he obviously don't have nobody around him who willing to tell him the truth about himself.
Yeah.
Because like literally, Steve
Because
just said that, and not and generally I don't dislike Adam, but in that situation I don't think Steve
yeah.
owes him
I
apology.
think that's the only problem I even had with Adam last. No, Adam had some type of entitlement last season, but for the most part, Adam makes sense. It's
Yeah.
just this particular thing is like, sir, like I'm
Mhm.
not understanding how you not getting four when two plus two equals four. You're getting six. I'm not seeing what you're doing.
Mhm.
But I will say, and I said it before, I feel like Steve is checked out. I feel like he was done
I
this
mean,
season.
Steve just is don't care about people in the house, but I think he cares about the game, which is why
You know who don't care about people in the house?
who
Turbo.
Turbo
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 don't
checked
care
out
about
too.
people in the house. And I appreciate that. I think
Yeah,
was it this episode they was doing the barbecue? Or was that last episode?
that wasn't this episode.
Yeah, when they was doing the little barbecue, Turbo was literally like, I'm in the house with people I don't like. I'm forced to be here. I'm forced to be outside.
Turbo is just trying to get the prize. That's it,
Yeah.
which is fine. But yeah, Steve, I don't think he cares about like the overall like making the friends in the house. He's not doesn't at least from what we see doesn't seem as interactive. But he's playing these games like he want to win.
Yeah.
Um and so yeah, we go to the nominations. So go ahead.
Before the nominations, I'm trying to see, was that this episode or last episode? When they
What?
was at the bar, Devon was no, it was this episode. They were at the bar.
Mhm.
Devon was talking to Frank about Steve. No, she was talking to Frank about Shane, with Shane literally behind her. She's like, "Oh yeah, he just stresses me out. Like he just doesn't understand. Is there's no way to talk to him?" And what did you say? And then he just got mad and was like, I'm done. And he was like, I don't want to have this conversation
Oh
on
yeah, he wanted
camera.
to leave.
He talked to one of the producers and was like, he's done with the show.
Yeah,
Um,
when they get to that all that I'm done with the show stuff, I want to leave. I don't never take it seriously because if you're really done with the show, all this talking is not gonna be happening. And
yeah,
like they be talking too much. I'd be like, you done said it too many times for it to be for real.
yeah,
Because if you was for real, you would have been walking and packing your bag. But they be like, I'm done. Then the producer pulled, let me talk to you. No, if you was really for real, you would have been go. But too much talking to producers and going on the set, and the producer convinced me. No, they didn't convince you. You wasn't never leaving. I don't never believe they leave it.
yeah. Especially with partner games, it's never a case where they're gonna, because they always gonna be like, dang, now this person got to leave. Because definitely this late in the season, if it was early on, then maybe yeah they can find another partner. But yeah, we're close to the final. Like
Yeah, I'm not saying people wouldn't leave just because they have a partner, but when they do too much yelling about how they are gonna leave,
yeah.
I don't believe you're gonna leave. You're
You know somebody gonna leave if they pick up the scene with the.
When it be that video, when that be that thing where they don't have no footage, they be like, "Oh my God, Shane left. He's gone. We don't know what." Then I'm like, "Oh no, he out here for."
Or it'd be two of the challenges sitting on the bed, one of them crying, talking about.
Yeah, when it go to a black screen and the words popped up, Shane left while production tried to
And then
stop
we see
Shane.
that we see one conversation. Yeah, I think it's time for me to go. I'm just not feeling it anymore. And then we'll have one challenger helping them pack and be like,
And then a camera
I
pointing
don't,
at the ground.
I don't want you to go. Always touch the heart. I don't want you to go. I'm gonna miss you. And then they
Yeah,
just roll the suitcase out, and
yeah.
yeah,
That's how you know it's serious.
that's
But
how you know it's
no,
serious.
you no,
Um,
no. But
or
yeah,
the walk into the house. I'm gone. I'm leaving. Everybody just, it's already a
my
house meeting.
turn.
It's already the house meeting. Like producers already told everybody. And they just
Yeah,
walk in and be like, I'm leaving. Just so they can
exactly.
have
And
the footage.
nominations, he would have said it.
Yeah.
But
But so we get to nominations. Nani and Turbo say, let us go. Have a chance to win our star back. Everybody oblige.
mm,
And so it's them versus so Adam and Steve allude to a deal they made with Frank and Sam.
mm.
Steve was already like, I'm bandaged up. I'm ready. I already
Yeah,
know
Steve,
this.
I'm with Steve. Adam be trusting these people, would just be like, I'd be like, why, Adam?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
They
Luke.
told y'all 5 episodes ago that Frank is not to be trusted, and y'all still trusted him.
Yeah, and so yeah, when they said that their name, I was like, I mean, sure, he betrayed them, but at the same time, it's a game, and you are one of the strongest teams. So I'm not opposed to him doing that either. For Frank's game, his
Yeah.
own personal game is best if Adam and Steve are not there, and I agree with that. That is a great choice for him, which is why when in these games where we be watching CT win or Jordan win and stuff like that, and they never go in. I don't want CT to go in. I don't want Jordan to go in. I don't want none of them to leave. But as rookies, you need to be thinking, he needs to go. And people like Frank are the type of like if he was a rookie, he's not a rookie. But if he was a rookie, those are the type of rookies that these rookies are not. Like
Yeah, they got rid of all the free-minded rookies. So we
yeah,
saw Kels, Priscilla, Justine. They was all ready to make the moves, but they was like, "No, y'all got too much independent thinking. We need rookies." Or I already know this next season about to be.
yeah. People go against their own self-interest and then keep people just because it's like, oh, that they too big of a name in the game to
Yeah, this we're the rookies. This is just
yeah,
the
we
way
can't get rid
it
of Johnny
is.
Bananas. We can't get rid of CT. He's gonna win,
That
and
would be the
I'm gonna
first thing
win.
I do. Let me get a win under my belt.
Yeah,
Don't wait to. Oh, we need to start making big moves. CT Johnny, I'm choosing you for elimination.
yeah,
Like
I would.
Jordan CT, I'm getting one of y'all out. Like
Yeah,
I don't
or
care
put
who it
CT and John.
is.
They don't be wanting to put the two big people against each other. Like if you put the two big people against each other, that means one of them is gonna leave. But they be
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna get the little small fry person and then put them against
the big person thinking they gonna
Goliath.
take him out.
And then
Like
be like, why did you think they were gonna win? Or
yeah,
no, I don't know. But in
yeah.
this
They
case,
be like, I'm scared to have a target on my back. You gonna have a target on your back regardless, so you might as well just play the game.
you might as well exactly. You might as well say in the instance that you are a rookie, you're a rookie. They already gunning for you, baby. So might as
Exactly.
well,
You
might
might
as
as well make
well.
your friends and start building your alliances. But if they clearly not, you got like 2 or 3 days. So be like, okay, I'm leaning towards these people.
Mm,
Jordan CT, we not meshing.
mm.
All right, bet. Let me get a win under. Let me just get one. That's all I need. Just let me get one. Because
Yeah, exactly.
once you start making the big moves,
Mm-mm.
oh, okay. And then those numbers, and we're rookies. They literally can't do nothing to us. Like we have just as many numbers as they have. We have.
They
Talk to
don't give
people
up.
like Corey. Talk to people like Amber B. Hey, they don't want y'all. We got you. We got you.
They don't be thinking like that. That
We
they
got
be
two more numbers to that. So let's say it's 10-10. You take those two out of their 10. Oh
But
yeah, we got the whole
it's never gonna
house.
be like that because you're gonna have if you got 10 rookies and 10 vets, you're gonna have at least five rookies that be like, oh, I idolize them or I grew up with you. Oh, I want to be a part of your team, Wes. things like that. So you got five. So you really only got five of them, and then they the minority now. So it's
No.
never a
You got to talk to them. You got to get them. Like you got to get the rookies on that plane. Like you C2. Let me go to C2 real quick. Hey, look, when we land, we got to understand it. All rookies
they don't never
together.
hold strong. They don't hold strong. I'm
you
telling
see what these
you.
you see what these vets, and we'll get back into the episode. You see what these vets do. Oh, we talked on the plane. We talked at the airport. Oh, we already had a feelers of who's going out. I sent the DMs. We had conversations before we got in the house.
Yeah,
Rookies don't do nothing. They don't do no prep. All they
they
do is
come.
run the
Yeah.
treadmill and be like, "That's all I need."
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but in going back to this with Frank, he plays the game how you're supposed to play the game. I do believe because him throwing at Adam and Steve, I don't. It ain't. I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but you got to go because you
yeah.
can possibly beat me, which I agree. And but I like Adam and Steve, so was rooting for them because they've been thrown in so many times. I always root for the underdog, and they're not necessarily an underdog, but they're somebody who has continuously been put in. But so they go in, and Steve was not surprised. Steve was like, okay. Adam was like, I'm disappointed, but whatever. So whatever. So on to this game. I like the beginning part of this game. I
I did
thought
not.
I thought
I
it was
don't like this at
you didn't
all.
like it. I thought it was
No.
useless because I feel like you do need to not use like I thought it was interesting if you're going to answer, but Steve and Adam were barely answering the question.
I mean, it was a different outside of if you got a star in the box, it's just yes or no. I feel like it should have been. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to like these type of things, if you're gonna do two parts, just have it be a puzzle or have it be some type of moving component. Because like if I'm bluffing, like at least do high low, like or something.
Yeah,
Like
it was 50-50. So even
yeah,
if you can't read them, you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. But I thought Steve and Adam were very funny. I
yeah, they
thought they
were.
were very funny, and so that was interesting.
At
And
least Steve knew he was like, I can't lie worth it. I can't lie. So let me go ahead and just
Adam
be
is to be an actor. They was funny.
yeah.
And Nani was getting frustrated. She was like, okay. She was
Why are
like,
you making it so fun?
yeah, a
Like,
lot. Then she was like, can we just guess? Because these they didn't answer the question. I'm just gonna guess.
yeah.
No, they ain't gotta start.
But
Whatever.
to give a rundown of the elimination, it's called Star Bluff. Players was played in two parts. Players will sit at a table at the first part across from their opponents. One pair will open the box, look at the context, and close it. They may or may not be a star in the box. Then they have to, or their opponents have to ask a series of questions to try to gauge their reaction. After 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes was way too long. The other team must guess if the star in the box, if and they continue this process for 5 rounds, another too long. And then however many guesses they get correct is how many balls will go into their thing. And then they have to transfer the yoga balls into the safe zone based on, like I said, how many points they receive in part one. Um,
Steve
and
and
then
Adam
in
had
the end, Steve
three,
and Adam,
and Nani and Turbo had two.
yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, you would think that's not a big. So it wasn't like a big disadvantage. The main thing is Nani and Turbo couldn't get the groove of
the,
um the
the sticks that
bamboo
you use to carry the
sticks.
balls
So that's kind of what
was their
hindered
downfall.
them.
Hmm.
But Adam and Steve knocked out half the competition. Out of 13 teams, they got rid of five.
And they won the elimination again, which I was happy
Yeah.
about because once you've done so many elimination, I just don't want. I want you to make it to the final, and
Yeah.
they deserve to make it to the final. They really fought to be there, and they are a really good team. And so now after that, Turbo and Nani are done. They're gone and eliminated. And TJ tells everybody that welcome to my final. You guys made it to the final, basically. So
Yeah.
we got our top four teams.
Um, Out of the teams who's no, Melissa and Mel is the only team out of the four, Adam and Steve are the only two teams who've seen an elimination.
Who has seen the elimination?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the last team? I
Frank and Sam earned a star in a daily, and then who's the other team? Davon and Shane earned their
Oh,
star.
they won the Shane. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So if I had to predict
the win.
for the winner of the final, if I had to predict, I would say Frank is not Frank and Steve. Adam and Steve, from what we can see
Adam
right
and
now.
Steve
You
and
never
Frank
know.
and Sam at a close second, possibly.
You said Sam and Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because a little like
Maybe Mel and
it looks like Sam wasn't doing too good. So it
Agree.
might be Adam and Steve with Shane and Davon maybe at a close second. Because I mean, minus their not being able to communicate, they are a pretty good team. And I think when it's like a series of stuff, like it's not necessarily like a. I mean, not, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like they do good when it's like we know what the objective is. Let's just get this done, type of thing. I feel like when they have to, when they do too much communication or talking, that's kind of where it's down. Like if you stand there, I need to knock these down. Good, we got it. But when it comes to us trying to, oh, we need to untangle this. I need you to go this way. Da da da. I think that's where they start to mess up. But I think Adam and Steve is going to win.
Yeah, I could see that, which is why Frank was trying to take them out because so it could be more kind of a level playing field, which I agree with. But
Late. They should have took their star, and then you know,
who took they who? Oh, that was uh Melissa.
Melissa and Nicole took
Nicole.
Bobby Turtle's. They should have took Adam and Steve's.
They wasn't thinking ahead, but but yeah, so those are our final four teams for the final. So next, okay. So next, sorry. Those are our final four teams for the final. So next week we'll see how the final structured and if there'll be two episodes. I think it's gonna be two episodes, but we'll see. Please leave us a like and subscribe and leave us a comment down below, and we will see you on our next video.